Hey kids, welcome back. Today we have a really awesome day planned. First we'll be dancing with your Kuya David, then I'll be reading you guys a story. And then we'll do crafts with your Ate Cheska, and then we'll close with a song. So let's get started.
Alright kids, everybody up. Let's go ahead and stretch. We're going to go ahead and put our hands up. And then you're going to go down all the way, touch your toes. Touch your toes. We're going to come back up. Put your left hand up and over. Right hand up and over. And you're going to shake it all out. Alright, let's get to it.
Wow, that was an awesome dance, Kuya David. Thank you. So let's get started by reading the story. The Warrior Leader. Joshua and the Battle of Jericho, Joshua 3 and 6. After Moses died, God gave his people a new leader. His name was Joshua, which means the Lord saves. Joshua was going to lead God's people into the special land God had promised to give them. By this time, God's people had been wandering around in that baking desert for 40 years. So you can imagine how sick they were of sand and anything yellow and tents and walking and being hot, and how happy they were to reach the edge of the desert and to see their beautiful new home right there in front of them, all cool and green and lovely. There was only one problem: Jericho. Jericho was a city, but it wasn't just any old city. It was a fortress, and it stopped anyone from getting into the land. The people looked at Jericho, at the big, giant, scary walls around it, at the tall, towering ramparts, at the heavy iron gates bolted shut, at each other. What would they do? No one knew. But God knew, and God told Joshua what to do. But Joshua must have looked surprised because it was a very odd battle plan indeed, as we'll soon find out. Then God made his people a promise. I will always be with you, and I will never, ever leave you. If you do what I say, your lives in the new land will be happy, and everything will go well. So Joshua gathered his army together. They had their swords and spears and shields, and they were ready to fight. But the plan wasn't about fighting. It was about trusting and doing what God said. Joshua's army went marching. Marching around the city. Day after day, they're too scared to fight, the people of Jericho said. But they were wrong. God's people weren't scared. They were waiting for God to tell them what to do next. On the seventh day, God told his people to march around the city, not once, but 7 times. Then God told everyone to make as much noise as they could. Has anyone ever told you to make as much noise as you possibly can? Well, imagine that noise. Add 39,999 other people making that noise too. And you get the idea. Ear splitting. And as it turned out, stone splitting too. Because the huge, strong walls of Jericho just crumbled to the ground, as if they were made of sand. Jericho vanished in a great cloud of dust. So it was that God's people entered their new home. And they didn't have to fight to get in. They only had to walk. Joshua said, God has brought you safely here. Now you will do what he says. Everyone said, we promise. Only God can make your heart happy, Joshua said. So don't pray to pretend gods. No, they said, never. I'm afraid they didn't keep their promise. They didn't do what God said, and many years later, just as God warned them, things would go badly for God's people. They would lose their home. Enemies would capture them and take them as slaves, and God's people would scatter into many different lands. But God's plan was still working. One day, he would give his people another leader and another home. But this home, no one could ever take from them. So that's our story. And what did we learn? Well, if we look back, in the beginning, God's people had their home taken away. And you can imagine just how sad they were. But through it all, God kept his promise of never leaving them. And we see that. God told them exactly what to do. And all they had to do was listen to him so that they'd get their home back. And it worked. The walls fell and everything was all right. And God told them that all they had to do was just listen to him and obey him. But unfortunately, God's people didn't listen. Throughout the years, they disobeyed him, just like we do. But God stayed true to his promise that he will never leave us. And, well, he didn't. In the story, it says God's plan was that one day he would give people a new leader, just like he did in the story. But this leader would be his son, Jesus. And he also said that he would give us a new home. And guess where that home is? That's right, it's in heaven. Jesus is our only way to heaven, our new home. And if we do exactly what God says, which is to believe in Jesus and trust that he will save us, then that's the way we get home. The home that God gave us and that no one will take away from us. We also have our memory verse, which is in Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. This verse also just shows how loving God is and staying with us even when we're scared. Even in a time where we feel like we're not in control. And just as he said, have I not commanded you? We just have to do what he commanded.
Wow, great story, Kuya Gabe. Hey kids, it's your Aunt Cheska here, and today I have a really cool craft for you. We're going to be making horns, just like the Israelites had in our story. Today you'll be needing this template, which you can find at our church website, markers, scissors, glue, in the shade clear or white, and tape. Let's get started. You can do whatever you want on your horn, but today I'm choosing to do a rainbow design. I'm going to take a purple marker and draw a line at the bottom. And then I'm going to draw some flowers. And then I'm going to take a blue marker and draw a line right above. And then I'm going to draw some squiggly lines. And then I'm going to take a green marker and draw a line right above. And then I'm going to draw some hearts. I went ahead and filled out the rest, and now I'm going to cut it out. But remember, you can do whatever design you want. Then we're going to take our tape and tape the bottom. We're going to put it right here so that it's half on and half off. And then we're going to fold it over, and we're doing this so that when you make the horn, the mouthpiece doesn't get wet. Then we're going to take our glue in the shade white, and we're going to put it on this section right here. And then we're going to roll our horn. And then just press the paper down on the glue. If the paper doesn't stick down to the glue, take some tape and put it in the middle. Well, there it is, kids, our finished horn. This is what it looks like. We really want to see how you did, so make sure to tell your parents to take a picture and post it on Instagram and tag us at cfbcwestcovina. Or you can email it to us at cfbcwestcovina@gmail.com. I hope you guys are being safe, and I really hope to see you sometime soon. Join us next week for more. Bye!
All right, kids. Today was really fun. Remember, we love you guys, and we miss you so much. But we're going to close in prayer, and then we'll end in song. So what do you do when we pray? We fold our hands, close our eyes, and we talk to God. Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for your word and for teaching us that you are always with us, even in a time when we feel scared. I pray that we continue to be safe and that you continue to provide for us in this time. I pray that we are all able to just come back next week to learn more about you. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
My friends may grow in grace and in the knowledge of our Lord and Savior. My friends may grow in grace and in the knowledge of Jesus Christ. To God be the glory. God be the glory, now and forever, now and forever, amen.
I pray tonight
as we learn from one another,
may we glorify Him.
and if the Lord
Bring us back together.
may we be in His arms till then. To God